Hey, I'm Ross from Middletown Cycling, and we'd actually got this older bike in on trade the other day. It had a fairly common problem. I actually had fixed it already, but I thought it might be nice to go over how I did that. So a lot of times, if you're looking at a used bike, you might shift one of these integrated brake lever shifters like this. You might shift it 1 or 2 times, and then it won't shift anymore. And what happens is as these sit, there's grease and things, and some of the springs get weaker, and they will kind of lock up and they will not work. But most of the time you can bring it back to life, and it's actually fairly easy to do. When you're looking at a bike like this, if you're to get it fixed, getting a set of new shifters like this installed might be up to $70, and you'd kind of almost think about totaling out the bike. So this is, kind of a bike saver in some cases. So the first thing you need to do is, it doesn't have to necessarily be this exact model because the mechanism's the same in a lot of these. It might not be exactly look like this, but there's going to be some kind of place where you can take the plastic cover off. In this case, it's these 2 bolts right here. So you're going to remove that. And what will happen, and I'm going to use some really high-tech scientific terms, so that, bear with me. It's very, we're very scientific around here. So you see that little doodad right there, that guy? This piece will oftentimes kind of gum up. So it'll shift once or twice, but then it won't return enough to pick up on those little teeth in there. Like I said, I've already fixed this problem, but it's very common, and if you, like I said, you can bring it back to life. So there's this little spring here. Can you see that, Kevin? That black spring? So sometimes you get a little, you want to get a little bit of tension on there. You don't want to pull it all the way off, because if you remove any of this, if something comes apart, you're done. You just got to get a new shifter. It's too hard to get back together. So you want to get a little bit of tension on there. But the other thing that's nice, oftentimes tri-flow or some of these spray style lubes are invaluable in this kind of situation. So what you're going to want to do is spray, here. I'll go ahead and just pretend I'm doing it again. So spray that. And then sometimes you can just shift it back to life like that. But a lot of times it's going to require just wiggling that back and forth, getting that going, getting that grease in there, and getting rid of that older grease. And eventually you will continue to shift through, and then you got it all fixed. Now, once you get to it to shift, I would actually recommend shifting back in through the gears up to 10 times, really getting it going. And once that has happened, it's one of those things. It's gonna happen eventually, but you can really just play with that little doodad there, and oftentimes you're gonna bring it back to life. It helps if you have a nice little pick tool. I have this itty bitty screwdriver, but you really, it's a delicate piece, so you don't want to be too rough on it. But just get that grease in there, and that's gonna save you a lot of money, keep your older bike going, and probably help you out. If you see this video and you like it, give us a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm really open to the content. A lot of what we do is the bicycle overviews, but if there's anything kind of like this that you had questions about that maybe we will have a little bit more insider knowledge on, please do. And then when you're all done, put that cover back on. Anyway, and make sure you're back in the right gear, because you don't want the numbers to not match up correctly. So I was in the wrong gear again. Get the cover back on, and you'll be good to go. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate you.